Existential Threats of Agentic AI to Society, Humanity, and Civilization. Deadly Urgent Dangers, 2024 through 2027. The Real Socioeconomic Issues. Unexpected Critical Failures and Catastrophic Loss of Control. Planet Earth is about to go through a world-changing epoch, the likes of which have not been seen for 2,000 years. It is vitally critical that computer scientists understand correctly what could go wrong, so that they have a few dozen months to correct it. But 99% of research papers written do not get read, and certainly not worldwide. So because time is of the essence, the right action is to create an animated explainer video presenting research results that anyone can see and instantly understand, that warns what the agentic AI dangers are that we'll be facing during the next 4 years. Most researchers are still struggling as to where to start. As an independent principal investigator, I've already done the research and got the results, but I haven't been paid for it yet. I propose to create a video that'll explain the dangers that you want to know about and the new fields of crash research that are going to be necessary for your company so that millions of people do not get killed needlessly. While some ivory tower theorists worry about infinite paperclips or hurt feelings from inequity, responsible companies understand that there's something bigger out there. Recent letters from AI experts and industry leaders instinctively feel that there's some dangers to agentic AI, but they don't know what those dangers are. Do you want to know what agentic AI dangers the world is going to face real soon? Then you've come to the right place. My name is John Myers of Sequoia Consulting. I've been a robotics AI researcher and futurist pretty much all my life. Let me just hit 5 career highlights to give you some examples. In 1981, I finished my thesis at CMU in 1.5 years at the age of 22. I created what's now called a virtual twin of a Puma 6-axis robot arm, along with graphics routines, with original volumetric spatial collision mathematics at any orientation. I then used this with my AI action planner to seek collision-free paths for the entire arm, also grasping an additional arbitrary object. I then did system integration of the AI software with the actual robot arm and demonstrated it picking up a pen and avoiding box walls. This was about 20 years ahead of its time. I went on to be a professional nationwide AI robotics consultant with SRI International for most of the 80s, eventually leading a team to advise each of the NASA installations in robotics. I was point on a JPL project to integrate high-level AI with a multi-arm satellite repair test bed, eventually selling them my collision-free path planning software. When the first robotics winter hit, I got bored. I learned Japanese and moved to Kyoto for 5 years to work for ATR Interpreting Telephone Research Labs. We were doing basic research on speech-to-speech Japanese to English conversation translation. I switched to computational linguistics and jumped right into the system integration of the hardest part in the middle, creating an agent-based conversation understanding system based on agent intention recognition. It did semantic disambiguation for the translation based on recognizing what each of the agents wanted to do. This used an original expert system engine based on ATMS possible worlds. And I also published basic research in second-order probability. Also, I got 2 prestigious Coling papers published, again, early 90s. This was all about 20 years ahead of its time. Back in America, I moved to Los Angeles and analyzed and tuned all aspects of an animated film production company working for Turner and Spielberg, getting certified as a Hollywood producer along the way. Seeing cell phone games coming, I negotiated a contract worth $1.2 million with Kyocera and led creation of the world's first interactive cell phone fantasy game, Cavern Crawl, installed in firmware at the factory from 2001. At my Dragon Lord game company, I led, produced, and directed teams of up to 20 people in 1 or 2 tiers, including programmers, animators, graphic designers, and musicians, and also sales, legal, and accounting. My team also implemented and white-labeled numerous games for Kyocera, including Tetris. This effort was about 4 years ahead of its time. At JPL, I led a team to implement a walking, talking, listening, manipulating humanoid robot in 2006. I designed the 32-module architecture for the humanoid, including my AI agent-based expert system planning and execution module, and successfully led implementation of the crash research in under 4 months, start to finish. More system integration of agent AI with robotics. This effort was about 10 years ahead of its time. Now, as an independent AI roboticist, I've been working on existential threats from AI agents to our nation since at least the AI for Good UN Summit in 2017, and full-time for 10 months since March of this last year, 2023. And I have 52 pages of notes already, results. And so the good news is that I have actual results and concrete recommendations, so there's no research risk on your side. But we do not have 10 years to get this right. We actually barely have 4 years. According to my estimates, we pass AGI and jump directly from AI to ASI 1.0 around 2027. And there's no way right now society is ready and prepared for it. The default is that things fly wheel apart rapidly from there, unless we can change it. But you won't have a chance unless you get a deep download of the dangers and the knowledge structures explaining and backing them from what I've been able to uncover. You see, I've done an analysis of previous existential catastrophes, ones that have killed millions or left millions homeless and starving. But I've looked at these from an AI expert's perspective, and I found certain cluster patterns that jump out at you, events that repeat again and again. But this time, with agentic AI in the mix, they're going to be amplified and they're going to be much more catastrophic. Of course, when predicting doom on humanity, I don't have to say that these things are actually going to happen. We only need to agree that these are possible likely events that could happen, the most likely stuff. And I need to raise your awareness of what these are, so that the AI community can work hard on combating the actual dangers and not just the possible theoretical inconveniences. We don't have much time. As stated, my approach is to create an animated movie, one that gets the points and the knowledge structure backgrounds across, of what is most likely to happen soon so that your best people can block them. These cover all three aspects, failure, vulnerability, and abuse, that you explained. There's not enough time to write a thesis or a book on these concepts, and they have to be understood by a lot of people, not just a few scientists. So that's why I want to do an animated movie as a deliverable. So let's go over some of the things I'd like to include in this video. 3 fundamental concepts necessary to understand what's going to be happening. Why and how cooperation is exponentially more profitable than competition under real-world conditions. The selfish altruism will be necessary to promulgate for survival. How the secret police will use agentic AI to hack home robots and spy on enemies of the state, and what needs to be done to prevent this. The AI that could get you killed in 2024. The AI that could wipe out your country and get you killed in 2025. The AI that could wipe out your country and get you killed in 2026. The AI, and these are all different, the AI that could wipe out your country and get you killed in 2027. These are a bit more serious than hurt feelings. The major systemic flaw to user alignment and the huge things needed to start to correct it, along with 3 nascent technologies that will be required to start to make user alignment safe, and concrete recommendations as to what the necessary next step should be in research. All that's a fast 10 minutes of material for basic coverage. Advanced topics that I think you'll enjoy getting also include 2 other vitally important topics that are key to understanding what's going to happen. The terrible dangers of semantic rebinding in society. Up to 36 different ways that agentic AI will be abused to bring chaos to society. 5 quick major solutions to bring in utopia rapidly, and each one of these is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity for you. 20 long-term solutions to help bring in utopia gradually. A brief sprint through 26 different historical existential disasters, and 11 patterns that come out from this. Now, if you had to pay McKinsey Consulting to perform this study for you, it would easily take over $1.2 million. And if you paid the consultants at my old firm, SRI, I estimated it would take $650,000. But since I'm an independent researcher, you're going to get actionable results for much less. So, how long should the resulting animated video be? Well, how long is a piece of string? This is the classic question that the producers ask. I would love to help you as much as I can. It depends on how much scripting and write-up I have to do, how much producing and directing, and how much and how good the animation is going to be. Of course, I have to help cover all those months I've worked without a salary. And whether I use an offshore studio in Hong Kong or England or onshore talent, the people animating the video have to be paid too. So I'm looking at about $10,000 a finished minute. That gives you room to dial it up or dial it down as much as you wish. Slaughterbots movie got one idea across in 7 minutes. Let's ballpark around one concept a minute for decent understanding. Like Ray Dalio's How the Economic Machine Works. Most bullet points are going to be one concept apiece, except for the multiples, and this gives enough space for the animators to do their thing. I'll order things by importance, and anything that doesn't get funded simply falls off the end for next time. In the end, it boils down to how much you believe information that could help your company and transform the industry is worth. I've been putting off development work on a financial engineering opportunity to take this on, so I'm easy either way, so it really depends on your budget. I'm going to recommend $250,000 or $400,000 if you can afford it for a comprehensive deep dive. As discussed, I can cover all the basics for $100,000. You'll probably miss things like an understanding of 36 attack strategies for abuse and the multi-billion-dollar utopia opportunities, but at least we'll cover the most critical upcoming crises. I can even dial it down through 5 figures, all the way down to $10,000 if need be, and do a quick PowerPoint dash through the basic high points. I don't think you'll get deep comprehension, and I don't recommend it, but I'm happy to work within your budget. You're not paying McKinsey at $1.2 million. You're going to be helping the entire AI community and your company for much less. The unnecessary loss of hundreds of thousands or millions of lives needs to be prevented. It's really important for you to understand as much as possible. I recommend that you go as big as you can. Whatever you pay, you'll easily be getting back more than 100 times on your ROI. I know what you need. Let's get together and make this real for you. Thanks very much for your kind consideration. John Myers of Sequoia Consulting.